yes, there's been some problems since launch from it. There has been some issues in particularly the console platforms, and particularly since some of the issues that were issues in 1.3 are still a prominent issue in 1.4 because it was more a PvE update and rebalancing versus doing anything with PvP. They will probably get some maybe information about what they're going to do for PvP or how it's going to be fixed at a later date. But right now, it's still in a state that if you don't use a shotgun, then you're pretty well screwed if they get close to you of the ones that are. With the sentry, the Alpha Bridge. I, in my opinion, just think something needs to be done about the shotguns in general. But we have about 30 seconds, so let's get to it. If there's any reason for any type of reaction, groundbreaking news, something I will chime in at the time they announce it. So, we're at final 10 countdown. Let's do this. Here we go.
Welcome to State of the Game for the 27th of October. Hi, Yannick. It's been,
Hello. Good
I
morning.
feel like
Hamish.
it's been forever since we've been on the couches and stuff talking about the game.
Yeah.
When was the
especially
last
two
time?
of
You
us.
weren't here last time.
No, I wasn't here.
I now realize that the 27th of October is only 4 days until Halloween. And people were like, oh, guys, when are you guys going to show up on stream with Halloween costumes? Probably never. But
No, I'm not sure what's going to happen.
there you go. But
I mean,
yeah,
you can do it if you want. I'm not sure I would.
I show up in this like super elaborate outfit, and Yannick shows up in his nice clothes. That might happen.
Yeah, I don't know.
That's fine. But hello, everyone. Welcome to the stream. Thank you again for hanging out with us. It's super cool. The 1.4 dropped on Tuesday.
Yes.
I wasn't here. You had gotten back by that point.
Yeah, I was here.
correct?
I was here for
Yes.
1.4.
People seem to be happy.
Yeah.
It's super cool. I hope you guys are enjoying 1.4. Obviously, we have a bit to talk about today on the 1.4 front. It dealt with the game in a way. If we go back to when we were in 1.3, and I remember that announcement we made. We're pushing back survival. We're going to be working on 1.4. I think, and myself included, had the impression that it would be, a few bug fixes.
Yeah.
But we introduced things like the world tier system, a lot of other stuff as well. And
I think when we
There's a lot
started
there.
the whole endeavor of 1.4 and trying to make the game better, I don't think we had the full scope at this point of what 1.4 would be, and then we kept adding more and more bug fixes and more balancing changes and more changes and all that. So in the end, that ended up being a much bigger update than what
exactly.
we thought it would be initially.
Exactly. Someone's
That's
saying,
good.
Whispering Death saying 1.4 is awesome other than console performance issues.
Yeah,
we
we'll
have a
talk
little bit,
about that,
we're going to
yeah.
talk about that in
Yeah.
just a second.
We know it's not perfect. It's,
No, exactly.
I think it's much better than 1.3.
I think
but yeah.
I challenge anyone to say otherwise. 1.3, I will go down and I think we'll look back at 1.3
Yeah.
and, well, I guess we kind of already are looking at 1.3 and going, well, at least we have 1.4 now. So it's a good time. Taiwan Smiley talking about the whole shotgun thing, and we'll get to that in just a second.
Yeah.
But let's get stuck into it. I think some people, I've still had reports of people saying, when is it releasing on certain things? Just to clarify, again, all platforms. It was released on Tuesday and it was free. If you or anyone, or you hear of anyone who has any confusion over that, no, there's no delay for PlayStation on this patch. It's everyone at the same time, and it's completely free.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've seen the same.
Yeah, there are
thing.
still some people that have been asking,
Little bit
or
confused.
because not everybody got to actually play it yet. So yeah, it's out, it's available, it's free, it's for everyone, it's on all platforms. So just download it and play it.
Yes.
Free patch, yes.
Yes. Do you have a date for
Enter it,
1.4? Emo Slapper, come on.
Yeah,
Yes.
25th of October.
Yeah. The one that just happened. So I see written on here, you want to talk about those ETF guys.
Yeah, I think
and everyone.
Yeah, the most important part I think is that when we talk about 1.4 and what we achieve with 1.4, and when we say like the scope, we didn't have the full scope at this point of what we would do in that. It's also, I think, it's also a lot due to you guys and due to the Elite Task Force people that we invited here that really helped us kind of shape what were the priorities that we had to focus on. It's all the people that played on the PTS, but also the people that couldn't play on the PTS. And I'm looking at you, console players and everything, but still contributed by providing feedback, by joining the discussions and all of that. And we couldn't have reached, we couldn't have achieved what 1.4 is without this, all this feedback and all this interaction and all these discussions, and even the negative ones. I mean, if we look at the difficulty, controversy, and the game is too easy, too much loot or whatever, this is also something that has been constructive for us because it allowed us to kind of identify where was the middle ground, because obviously we can't always just answer to everything.
Exactly.
So
I mean, we had that whole thing where week 2 came out and people were like, why did you make these changes and that sort of thing? And that was great that we had the PTS and we had the ability to have those conversations because we, for example, we saw, if you look at a very crude graph that I'm going to draw, like, you have week 1 and everyone's pretty stoked on, because obviously week 1 compared to 1.3 was fantastic. Week 2, people weren't that happy with, and then we start iterating and people come back for week 3, and it was a really cool process. And I hope we can do it again. Yeah,
definitely. And so that is, the idea is just like, thank you guys. Thank you so much for helping us. Thank you for, standing by us and sticking around and actually just being here, helping us, giving us feedback, and believing in this project, this huge project that was 1.4. Yes. And it's not over. I'm not. It's not like, hey, thank you. Now we're done. Goodbye. Mic dropped. No, that's not a mic, by the way. But no, that's not the point. But still, I think it's important to just pause for a moment now and realize what was achieved, and again, that we couldn't have done it without the community being part of it.
Exactly, and I'd also like to, obviously we're talking about people who have stuck by us through this whole process. There are people who might have taken a big lapse and are just tuning in again for, I don't know, the first time in 5 months. And I think it's really, really cool that you would give the game another shot, which makes me very happy, because I think you'll be very, very happy with 1.4.
Yeah.
What else do we have here?
So as we said, it's like it doesn't end here. So not everybody is happy with 1.4, or at least with all the balancing that has been done. And I think it's important to say that, as we said, it doesn't end here. We are still looking at all the things that you guys are talking about. There is still more balancing that will come in future updates on things that we already can address, and maybe some small remaining tweaks here and there, but also some other aspects. Like, we know PvP is a big part of the discussion. A lot of people say PvP is still not good enough with 1.4. We know that was not the intention with 1.4. So we know that PvP is not perfect yet. So these are all these things that we want to keep working on. So keep giving us your feedback, keep being super constructive, and there would be more updates and more making the game better.
Keep being constructive and stop talking about The Walking Dead in chat.
But no spoilers.
I've seen it. And this isn't for me. I know what happens. Yannick may have not seen the first episode.
I haven't seen it. So if anybody spoils it, you're like, banned from my life.
I did say on the stream before, Walking Dead spoilers are just a ban. Like, I don't care. You get straight up banned from the channel for spoiling anything. Even if you're joking about spoiling something, because other people will talk about it. There you go.
Thank you, guys.
People talking about it.
Thank you for respect. Thank you very much.
There's going to be some bans coming out. So there you go. But then even if like people are joking, you know what I mean? Like people like joking. Rick dies. Oh, cool.
It's about just ruining the experience for somebody else. So much fun. But anyway, let's go back to the game and us trying to make the experience good for people.
Gabe's ready. Gabe says, test me. He's not...
So another thing that a lot of people have been talking about, and we know, so we said, and we will talk more about that, consoles. And we have issues on consoles. We have performance stuff. We had the stuttering on Xbox. We have more performance issues on console. It's not just about stuttering. And that led to the discussion about PTS not being available on console. And we agree with you guys. This is all the kind of stuff we could have identified if we would have had the PTS available on console. it's not that we don't want it to happen. We actually want it to happen, but it's just very complicated to set up because of the way it works with console first parties and everything.
Yeah.
So we're working with them to try to make it happen for future updates and future PTS instances. And again, obviously the issues we have now would have been identified earlier if we would have had it. So there is no denying that. This is something we want to happen in the future.
Yes, but again, it's difficult.
We're
aware of it, and we're working on it.
Yeah,
we're looking into it. We're looking into it. No, but seriously, it would obviously behoove us to do everything we can to get PTS on consoles.
Yeah.
But there are some tricky hoops.
Yeah. Did you try hard enough, Dracosvin? I understand that like sitting behind your screen is very easy to judge and think that we're just being lazy, but actually, yes, we've tried very hard, and we are still trying very hard.
Just sitting there, like I imagine you just like smoking, like a cigarette. Like I've never seen you smoke in my life, but like just like a French dude, just no, I don't give a shit.
I don't give a shit.
Does that happen?
Well, it's not. I mean, it's not me doing it anyway. But I can tell you about the people that are working on that.
What are you talking about? You have the button for the PTS. Like I don't know why you just didn't press the Xbox and PS4 button.
Yeah, the people that are working on that, I can tell you, are working very hard on trying to make it happen, and we are making good progress. And I think we can say eventually we think it could happen, but it's a very complicated process. And the first PTS was also making sure that the whole idea of a PTS works with the Division. I think we've seen that, yes, it does. So that's something we want to keep doing. And therefore, the next step is then expanding it to consoles.
Yep. There you go. This is serious. Stop being a douche. I'm sorry. That's just me. Again, we talked about them a little bit before. There are obviously some known issues, and obviously, the PTS has been a different process. We don't have a PTS environment live right now, so this conversation on the state of the game will be different every week.
Yep.
We've had the pleasure, and I've really enjoyed doing state of the game, forever. But it's going to be a different kind of conversation now that we're not in that PTS phase.
Yep.
And it will continue to change as we get closer to survival, last stand, that sort of thing. But we do have known issues in the game right now. The Xbox performance issues, the stuttering type stuff.
Yeah.
On Tuesday, was it the voice?
Yeah, on Tuesday night. So we know that stuttering has been part of, on Xbox especially, it's been here since pretty much beta. And with each update, we actually fixed instances of it. With each update, we found causes of it, we fixed it, then there was a new thing. And I know we talked about, for 1.4, we said we had a breakthrough, and we fixed some of it, which we did. Unfortunately, that just highlighted that there were other causes. Now, the good thing is that we found out that the very specific Xbox stuttering, I'm talking here, I know that there are some similar issues on other platforms, but the very specific one in the dark zone on Xbox, we could find that it was linked to the proximity, or not the proximity, but to the in-game voice chat. So quickly on Tuesday, we decided to just, for the time being, just turn off the in-game voice chat, which of course is kind of impacting the experience of players.
It's the lesser of two evils, though.
But exactly, it was either that or keeping the stuttering, which was a bigger issue. So we made the decision to, for the time being, deactivate the voice chat. Again, you can still use the Xbox party chat on your Xbox thing if you're playing with your friends. So you're still able to use audio, but you cannot use the in-game audio on Xbox. But therefore, at least that made the stuttering issue much less of an issue. Now, of course, that doesn't solve everything, because we also have other kind of performance issues. But also, yes, that means we still need to get a better fix for the stuttering, because eventually we want to bring back the in-game voice.
No, of course.
On Xbox.
This is a question for you. I know previously I'd had we had a VoIP issue on PC as well. Do you think the stuttering that people are reporting is potentially linked to a similar issue? Like, should people try turning off the VoIP on PC to see if that's...
They can try. I don't know yet.
I'll try it. If I experience it today, I'll see if that's one of those things.
We don't know yet if it's linked. I think it's different issues, but just the experience for the players is similar in a way that we're talking about freeze and FPS drops, and also the definition of stuttering changes depending on the player. Some players think,
stuttering,
describe their issue as a stutter,
lag,
when it's not exactly the same. So, and that's my next point actually that we wanted to talk about. So we said there are performance issues on console and everything, but it's very important for us to identify the issues and for us to fix them. We also need good bug reports. And what that means is that going on the forums or going on Reddit or whatever and saying, there are performance issues, the game isn't playable, fix it. That does not really help us.
No.
I mean,
No.
we know that there are performance issues and we know that this can be frustrating, but if you really want to help, it's better if you actually post a report that says, describe what kind of issues we're experiencing, when did you experience it, how regularly, what were you doing, in which part of the game. The more precise your report is, and the better for us to actually then work on it.
Because we really want to fix it.
Yeah.
It is really frustrating. We experience it too when we're playing on the live game. So it's not just frustrating for us in terms of experience, but it's frustrating for us when we're delivering a game to you that we want you guys to enjoy. So, help us. What's the best place for people to give that feedback? Forums?
The bug forums. Go on the forums, on the Division forums, so forums.ubi.com. Go on the Division, there is a bug section there. Go to your platform, PC, Xbox One, or PS4, and describe the issues. If you have a performance issue, don't just say I have performance. Just say if you were talking about FPS drop, if you're talking about lag, if we're talking about freeze, if we're talking about these kind of things. What were you doing when it happened? When did it happen? Does it happen regularly or was it a one-time thing? In a perfect world, maybe you have a video that helps us also. All these kind of details. If you took some troubleshooting steps to try to solve it, let us know as well. Try to be as precise as you can because again, just going out there and saying performance are terrible, we know that this is, terrible. We know that there are issues with performance, but that does not help us just identifying the issue. So if you really want it to be fixed, please work with us.
Yeah, I think that's the same can be said for any issue that you're having in the game. If you encounter a new issue, when we see you talking about the issue, that's great. But it's always better if it can be, this is the issue, here's what's happening and why.
Yeah.
Rather than just the first time we get an issue, that's great. But the more information you guys can give us, the better. That's always the case.
There you go. Gabe just posted the link in chat now, so to the bug forums. So yeah, make sure to go there, make a search first, do a search on the bug forums also. It's important to not just create a new thread if there is one existing. It's very important that you try to do a quick search and see if somebody created a thread with the same issue as you, and then if he did, just answer to this thread and describe your version of the issue. It makes it also easier for us when everything is concentrated on one thread. But go there, post your bug reports, and let us know what's happening.
Yeah, I see. We're going to stick around and answer a few questions when we can. Viper Mike, I think it is. What happened to the weekly clothes assignments? I think talking about the Operation Isaac stuff. So people should see Operation Isaac coming back because the next one was tied to survival.
Yeah.
That's so. It's the next one is on the way, but since the timeline for survival release has changed, the Operation Isaac stuff has been on hold for a little bit. But you will have that chance to get stuck into that again around survival.
I seen a guy in here say he still gets stutter on PC with VoIP disabled. Yeah, again, we know that the stuttering in the Dark Zone on Xbox was linked to the voice chat, but doesn't mean that all the stutter issues you are experiencing are linked to
that
voice.
was just me brainstorming.
You can try. If it doesn't work, then that means it's another issue. And that's interesting for us to know as well. So when you're posting that as a bug report, you can also tell us that you try to deactivate voice chat and didn't change anything.
Exactly. Yannick's bed is so Kriegasm. It's true. The sound issue on PC, distorted and sped up.
That's an issue we had on the PTS already. It's not been fixed yet. It's an issue with the sound on PC, obviously.
Yeah, so I had actually talked about this during the PTS with Simon, who's our lead audio guy. That's probably not his official title, like a senior audio. He's in charge of sound.
Senior official audio
He's the sound
guy, something.
But Simon was saying you can go into your sound settings on your PC, because I think it only affects PC, right? This specific sound issue only affects PC.
I think it's just PC.
And we need to work on something inside the client. But you can check your sample rate on, I think it's on your playback devices, and it should be set to 44.1. Otherwise, if it's set to something else, then you'll might have some strange issues. It shouldn't be, so it affects a very, very small population of people because you would have had to set it away from the default on your computer, which anyway, most people wouldn't have any reason to do that. But again, the specific issue workaround is on the forums, and maybe Gabe could post a link to that one if he can dig that one up.
Yeah.
Bring Simon out here now. He's busy. He's busy upstairs doing stuff. 44.1, was I correct, Kareem Wilson? I hope so. Yes.
Yeah. But yeah, so these are the non-issues that we have. You guys have been reporting more bugs. These are things we are looking at. So if we're not listing them in the non-issues yet, it's because we want to make sure that we clearly understand what the bug is and that we can reproduce the bug. And once we reproduce, we can say, okay, this is really a known bug and we're going to fix it. So keep reporting all the issues you guys experience, and we will keep working on them, and we will try to fix all of them. But yeah.
Yes. Any news on the named weapon changes? So the thing is, and we've talked about this before, 1.4 addressed a lot of things. It didn't address some very specific things, some of which were crafting in the economy.
Yeah.
Named weapons talents being looked at, we're not 100% happy with those, and there will be an in-depth look at how named weapons work in the future, which will be really cool. What is it? Crafting the economy, named weapons. PvP in the Dark Zone. And there hasn't been a dedicated pass on that. And also additional weapon balancing and these sorts of things. Like armor damage on assault rifles applying, only to enemies. And these are some of the things that will be coming in the future. So 1.4 doesn't address everything, but there are a lot more things to come. Again, it's an ongoing process. What else do we have?
Yeah, I see a lot of people talking about shotguns. So yeah, for example, this is one example of the things when we say it doesn't end here. So we haven't changed shotguns in terms of the meta, especially on console with controllers and everything. We haven't changed that for 1.4 because we made some balancing changes to the whole weapons and all of that. So first we wanted to see how that plays in this context. Now we see that this might not be enough to address this issue. So this is something that we will be working on and try to address if needed. But these are the kind of this is an example of the kind of things that still are not perfect with 1.4, and that's where tweaks are probably needed.
Here's some of the things. Someone's saying shotgun's still OP in PvP. I mean, I'm assuming you're a console player. A lot of the PC players I've talked to don't have the same issues. I mean, it's a different type of thing. So, I mean, a lot of it comes down to things like auto-aim, and a lot of these things in the conversation are very, very important. Please don't nerf shotguns for PvE. Yeah,
no, so yeah,
that's important.
We'll see what we do about shotguns. And again, this is not us confirming a nerf or whatever. This is us saying we will look at your feedback in terms of what's the situation with shotguns in PvP with 1.4. Now that you actually got to play it, that's what's important for us. And then we'll see what is needed and if something is needed.
Yeah. Someone's saying too many talents require so much electronics. I mean, these are some of the things, again, that would, if that is the case, then those will be addressed when named weapons get looked at again, those sorts of things. But we've had those conversations internally, and there's definitely some different things that want to be done with weapons. Again, that's not our job. Although if it were, it would probably end up with some crazy weapons. Separate PvE from PvP, Lars the Devil says. Okay, good point.
Are you aware that details of survival have been released on a Dutch game selling site? We are aware of that, but to be honest, it's all speculation at this point.
Yeah, we've had all of those sorts of things through, not just with survival, but throughout kind of the launch of the game, the beta of the game, a lot of weird things showing up. Again, the only thing you should regard in terms of information about survival is the stuff that is said directly from us or a trusted source. Again, we would, if that were real, we would confirm it for you, but disregard.
Turn the light down at the shooting range. Okay.
That's a very specific request. Turn the light down?
Yeah.
I'll just make it like a little bit more romantic.
Maybe.
Romantic gunplay?
Yeah. Romantic gunplay.
I don't know.
What's that?
I don't know.
Just put some romantic music in
the
the
background.
background.
About stash size? That's been an ongoing question. What about stash size?
It's
Stash size.
we didn't change it for 1.4. We talked about it a bit before. We increased it with 1.3. But we know that this is not enough, especially now
Yeah.
that you get so much items. You eventually run out of stash size pretty quickly.
Mm-hmm.
The problem is that it has to do with the way the stash works. We cannot increase it as much as we want because of traffic and all of that. And we already explained that, and I've been called a liar and a lazy dev for saying that, but that is the way it is.
Yeah.
But therefore, what we're looking at is changing the way we're actually storing items. So that means that it takes more work. So it's not something we could do for 1.4. I don't know if it's something we can do for 1.5 or if it's going to be later. But yeah, future extension of the stash is definitely something we want to do, but that means that we're going to have to kind of redesign the way the stash works, and therefore that takes quite some work. So it's
we
not
can't
something
just
immediate.
change the value. I think a lot of people would just, but why can't you just change the value from, X to 1,000? Like that's not what we can do.
Yeah.
I wish we could.
Liar. Yes. Yes.
Liar, Yannick.
Yes.
Gosh. Loadouts could be a solution for stash size. Not.
The only way
No, because loadouts, they would still occupy the same backpack and stash space,
only way
right?
loadouts
It's that's a quality of life thing in my mind.
It's, I mean, and I'm not a server dev, but
inventory space.
from a technical standpoint, that would be the same problem because it's just about storing items.
Yeah.
And therefore, no matter if your items are stored in a stash or they're stored in a loadout feature or whatever, you still need to store the data somewhere. And it's not a matter of size of storage. It's a matter of just all the traffic that this generates. The more you store, the more you actually need to upload and download with the servers and all of that, and the database. So it's loadout would be the same situation as stash. So again, this is something we're looking at. I'm not saying we're not doing it. It's just, yeah, we need to rework the way the stash works, basically.
Yes. Someone saying, stop being hoarders. Look, Endeavor. A lot of people like to collect a lot of stuff. I mean, I think I'm kind of hitting that point as well where my stash is getting pretty full. And I actually haven't even played 1.4 just yet, but I'm going to play this afternoon. It's going to be good. The medic is OP. I think it's, talking about the healing handbags. Those in 1.4 are definitely a lot more powerful, healing enemy armor and that sort of thing. I think it's cool. I think it's, if you don't take out the handbags, it's or the lunch boxes or the healing stations.
Yeah.
They're gonna get some health back to those guys. So definitely focus those down.
Yeah.
Which is cool. I think it adds a cool gameplay mechanic.
Okay, I think just to be clear, because I see a lot of people asking, we are not going to give you any information about survival in this state of the game, guys.
Oh, come on.
So right now, we are still very much looking at 1.4. What's the feedback? What's the outcome of it? How you guys are enjoying it and all that. So we're still focusing on 1.4 for now. We'll talk about survival later.
Can we go trick or treating? Kev from NYC. Oh, NYC guy in here. You can, in real life, you can go trick or treating as much as you want. Bonus points if you're dressed as a division agent. But that was one of the things that people have been requesting is, can we get Halloween themed things in the game? That would be something that would be really cool for the future. But because we've been in that mode where we just need to make 1.4 really, really good, vanity stuff and seasonal, that kind of flavorful content wasn't the type of thing that really would have been worth focusing on. I don't think anyone would have said, I want a pumpkin head instead of, world tiers.
Yeah, especially temporary things like that. I think.
But I love the idea. I mean, I love in-game seasonal events.
Of course.
We should do something for Yannick's birthday in-game. Is my whole point.
It's coming soon.
Yeah. What? Oh yeah, your birthday is soon. What day? Can we tell the world?
I'm not saying.
I'll find out. And I'll let everyone know.
All right.
I think we're almost done. But cringy is good. The servers have been up this whole time, right? We didn't actually bring the servers down for maintenance.
No,
today.
true. That's
we didn't actually mention that before. It's kind of important. That's usually one of the things that people come here to find out is what's happening with the servers. But they didn't even come down today. So if you were wondering why you couldn't get on, you could. So
yeah. No maintenance, the reason being that, we had big maintenance on Tuesday,
yes.
So we're working on some fixes for some of the bugs, but obviously in 2 days we couldn't make them happen. So
yes.
There will definitely be a maintenance next week, but not this week. So no maintenance, so you guys can play the game.
Yes. No hints for survival yet, guys. Again, it's we released 1.4 48 hours ago, almost exactly, I guess.
Yeah.
So again, and I also would like to say we're very, very interested to see exactly how the meta consolidates. One of the things I'm really interested in is to see the difference between PC and console, to see if there's any difference in the way that people play the game. Obviously, people play with shotguns differently on console, but I wonder if there are any other kind of loadouts or that sort of thing. Loadouts, sorry. Any, kind of gear makeups that are a little bit different, because I think the meta will consolidate over time, but we'll see. Anyway, that's why it's cool to have you guys as part of the conversation, not just today, not just during the PTS, but going forward with 1.4, and then the other stuff that we shall not name, like Voldemort.
Like
I know.
Voldemort update confirmed.
Okay, sorry to take it back to The Walking Dead, and this is like a weird segue. The guy who plays Nick on Fear the Walking Dead is actually Tom Riddle from the Harry Potter movies. All right, now you know. That's why you come to the State of the Game, to find out Harry Potter trivia.
The more you know.
There you go. Anything else today? What have we got? Can we get 1.5 news next State of the Game?
Maybe.
I'm going to play good cop and say yes, and then Yannick's going to say no.
No.
Oh, man. Come on, Dad. Why you no give us...
Why do I have to be the bad guy anyway?
I know, right?
One is known, so yeah, some people are asking about broken talents, and especially one is known. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say it again. That's definitely something we want to work on. We couldn't fix everything with 1.4, so that doesn't mean it's never gonna be fixed. So yeah.
Yes.
That's part of all the things that we're still looking at.
Nerf Yannick's no. Yeah, stop saying no. Come on, man. Come on. Stutter fix coming on Xbox. Yes, that again is one of the, it is the top priority, I would say, right now. Looking at all those.
But all the performance stuff. I mean,
not just performance on Xbox, although it is the one that is receiving the most kind of reports. I would also point you guys at the forums for those sorts of bug things. Obviously, Gabe and Matt are on there doing a kick-ass job. So when you can't get news out of us here on the stream, or you're not finding something on Twitter, the forums have more information than you probably know. Thanks, Gabe. You're the best. And Matt, because Matt's on there too. But Matt's probably sleeping right now. He should be sleeping right now. Cripes.
And on the Steam forums also, it's something
Steam forums,
we hardly or we almost never mention, but it's also, there's a lot of good discussions there, and Matt is also very present there, so
yes,
we can also have the discussion.
We're all over the place. If there's always somewhere you can find someone. Can we get season pass supply drops weekly? Jewel knives, come on. When can we expect a double XP weekend? Definitely not now.
But that's a good point though, because yes, that's something we tried with PTS and that worked. So that's a tool that we have available. So that's definitely something we'll be using.
Yeah, and here's the thing. But like, if you drop a double XP weekend when the game, hits 1.4, it really undoes the whole world tier system and that sort of experience. It will make sense to have a double XP weekend, if not soon, but then soonish. But it will happen at the right time.
Can we get triple XP? Come on, Pillars of Now.
Oh my gosh, come on.
But also it's a matter of perception. If we would have released the update with a double XP, then when we remove the double XP, people will be like, oh, they nerfed the XP.
Yeah.
So
why don't you just keep it at double and then make it quadruple?
We want you guys to experience it the way it is right now, and then we'll have double XP and this kind of stuff. We have more. It's not just double XP. We have other types of small events like that that we worked on.
Robot Isa was asking, can you explain find a better server?
Wait.
What?
Sorry.
What?
Cookies lol.
What?
Lol, people still play this game.
Okay, well done. Yes, we got one of those already. That's
Good job. Good job.
In fact, lots of people still play this game.
Good job.
But thanks.
More people now.
I was talking about finding a better server.
Yeah.
So the way I envision it, and correct me if I'm wrong, is that people, what happens when you don't see the server you're connecting to, right? So say I'm a solo player, I am living in Holland, I would probably connect to Rotterdam as my data center. Or if I'm in Australia, I'd probably connect to Sydney and that sort of thing. Now what happens is if I am Australian, I'm not, thank
God.
God, for a second, I was getting freaked out. I'm not Australian. If I were, For example, if I was staying at my mum's place who lived in Sydney, I would have a connection to that Sydney server. Now, if I grouped with aforementioned person from Holland, they would join my server, or one of us would be playing on either Rotterdam or Sydney from the other side of the world. And that person will be prompted to find a better server, correct? Or is that, when does that happen? The whole find a better server prompt?
It's just if you're having bad performance, you can just ask to find a better server.
Okay, but better server, does that mean a different data center, or does that mean?
It means, yeah, one where you have better ping, basically.
Okay.
But because right now the thing is that, yeah, you're not always going to be redirected then to a better data center. So if I, for example, again, if I play in Europe, you play in New Zealand, and you join me, you will be sent to a European data center, which means you might have a bit more ping. But then if we ungroup, you might not be sent directly back to your data center. You might stay on the European one. So then when you say find a better data center, it's going to send you to the back to the Australian one.
So yeah, that's how that whole thing kind of works. So in theory, as a solo player, if you haven't grouped in that session, you shouldn't find any issues. You should always be connected to your local or closest data center with the best ping. Why can't you find a better server when in a group? Killer Tat, it depends where your group is split across the world. The way it works is you need to be on the same server as your group mates. Now that means that someone, if you have 2 points, you're either going to have to meet in the middle or at one extreme. That's just one of those things that can't be changed. You can't be on 2 different data centers because then you're not playing in the same server. Yes.
Why not add bicycles so we can navigate to open world faster?
I want to be able to do backflips on a bike in the game, but I don't think that's going to happen. Rip my dream. We're working on those freezes the 13th. That's we mentioned that just before. Anyway, guys, we kind of gotten through all of the things to talk about today.
Yeah.
There will be more to talk about
soon.
But that's not a today thing.
No.
But I would urge you to all come back to the channel because there's going to be a lot of important things to talk about very, very soon.
Yeah.
Follow if you're not following because you probably want to get notifications for specific streams that we will do in the future. State of the games, that sort of thing, and random streams and Let's Play streams. And because we now have Gabe and Matt streaming, Peter, who's operating the cameras right now, you weren't here.
Nobody told me.
He told you?
You made him stream.
I made him stream. Threw him under the bus, and he did a good job. So we're gonna get Peter back on the stream as well, because we don't have enough Swede on the stream.
Maybe I will stream at some point.
Do it.
Show my
finally. You keep saying that you
my
will.
My OP Deadeye build that I'm running right now.
It's not okay.
Because Deadeye is not dead. It's fun.
It's fun. It's 10 out of 10 is fun.
it's not meta, whatever. I don't care. I'm having fun with it.
Yes, it is. It is.
It's for lazy people like me that don't want to aim.
Well, that, but also it's kind of fun. Anyway, I need to, get Yannick to stream. I agree. And we need to sort out a controller for Peter as well, because he was struggling with the
next stream hype.
You got it? All right, Peter has a controller, so we're good. Anyway, we're going to get out of here. Thank you very much for tuning in today. I will have this up on SoundCloud for people who want to listen to it in audio format later today. So check back then. I'll probably put out a tweet with that in a few hours. But I'm gonna get some food and I'm gonna stream a bit because I really want to play 1.4. And also, I want to talk to you guys because I've been away, and that would be fun. Are you guys hiring? Brag1.
Yes.
Yes.
Go to the Massive website, massive.se. You'll see we have a bunch of openings.
Yes, and we will make a command for the chat because that would be cool. So if people, that's not going to be an ongoing question. We, always looking for good, fresh, new talent, especially those that want to play Warhammer 40k with us. Oh, dude, I almost bought the Dark Vengeance set so we could start. Didn't do it. Anyway, that's enough for today. Thank you very much for tuning in. We will see you. I'll see you in like maybe 20 minutes, maybe sooner. Anyway.
Massive opening. We see what you did here. 30 silver.
Exactly. I'll be back soon, and then tomorrow I'm going to stream, and then I'm going to force Yannick to stream in the afternoon. So
tomorrow?
If you can.
Maybe. If I can. I don't know yet.
We'll see.
I take it one day at a time.
Yes, exactly. We'll see you guys really soon. Okay.
See you guys. Have
Take it
fun
easy.
with
Bye.
1.4.
Alright, that was State of the Game, and in all, they didn't really give much information other than what they had reported. So, it's more a kind of tell you what's going on so we know what's going on so we can fix it. And as of right now, there isn't much information coming about much of anything. So, maybe next week. Maybe we'll see. And that is that. This is Hatchet Gaming. Everybody enjoy your day. I greatly appreciate anyone that watches this video, and if you like it, go ahead give it a like. If you want to stick around, go ahead and hit that subscribe. Anything, any little bit helps me out, helps me grow. And you can also share this video to your friends. Any way I get my name out there is going to help me grow. And on that, this is Hatchet Gaming, signing off.